Welcome to this explainer. Okay, if you're a parent tuning in right now, I just want you to take a big, deep breath. We know exactly why you're here. You're probably feeling that heavy, literally relentless burnout of daily household chores, right? Trying to balance raising tiny humans with keeping a house from completely falling apart. It's an exhausting tightrope walk. So today, we're exploring a brilliant, deeply empathetic piece by author Don Rivera Diaz called Tiny Hands at the Sink: Domestic Connection and Survival. Our goal today is to speak directly to you, the overwhelmed parent who just needs a little encouragement and a totally simple way to connect with your kids. We're going to look at how completely letting go of perfection might actually be the secret to making your daily chores so much easier for both you and your child. So let's dive right into this. The author stumbled onto something by accident and absolutely had to share it. And, this wasn't something learned from some pricey parenting coach. It wasn't in a best-selling book, and no lifestyle influencer posted a perfectly curated reel about it. Nope. This was a completely accidental discovery born out of pure, unadulterated exhaustion in a messy kitchen. And honestly, that's exactly what makes it so powerful. It literally transformed one of the most stressful, dreaded daily chores into this beautiful moment of connection. But before we get to the actual discovery, we really have to validate the reality of your day-to-day life. The load you're carrying is incredibly real. As Diaz points out, parents are biologically wired to chase their kids, keeping them safe, fed, stimulated, and loved. But while you're doing all of that, you're also managing a household that simply does not pause for a second. There's the endless dishes, the multiplying piles of laundry, the floors that get dirty the very second you finish cleaning them, all often juggled alongside full-time work. Between the kids, maybe some pets, and keeping the lights on, the author notes it can feel exactly like managing a small farm. Literally every single surface needs your attention. I want to pause here for just a second. Let this really sink in. You are not alone. That immense weight you feel on your shoulders, that is real. If you've ever stood at the kitchen sink at the end of a long day, staring at a mountain of plastic cups and plates, feeling completely and utterly overwhelmed by the whole shebang, you need to know that this is a universal experience. You are, in fact, most parents. Okay, so here's the setup for the author's accidental discovery. Diaz was running on absolute empty. There was a daunting pile of dishes in the sink, you know the kind, right? Not fully dirty, not fully clean, just desperately needing a good rinse and a scrub. And right there, clinging to his leg like a barnacle, was his toddler. The toddler wanted to touch everything and wanted to be intensely involved in whatever the adult was doing. It's pretty much a recipe for instant chaos and stress, right? Now, what's really interesting here is the pivotal shift in mindset. Our natural parent instinct, when we're totally exhausted and just have a chore to do, is to redirect. We say, hey, go play with your toys, or go watch a show while I finish this. We try to push them away from the mess so we can be efficient. But Diaz was just too tired to fight it. Instead of peeling the toddler off his leg and pushing him away, he made a totally different choice. He just let him in. And here is the exact, beautifully simple hack. Step 1, he handed the toddler his toy cars. Step 2, he put those cars right into the sink with the dishes. And step 3, he just let him splash. He let the toddler wash his little cars right alongside him while he tackled the actual dishes. There was no grand plan here, just a tired parent making a little physical space at the sink. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when we drop our defenses. The results were entirely surprising. The toddler wasn't just distracted, he was happy and occupied, standing right by his dad's side. But the real magic? The toddler started mimicking the scrubbing motion. He was genuinely helping, in his own 2-year-old way, with the actual task right in front of them. The dishes actually got done, and they did them together. There's a core difference in how we approach this stuff. The old, exhausting way is working against their instincts by constantly trying to redirect them or entertain them away from our chores. The new, much easier way is working with their instincts by actually allowing them to participate. Letting go of the idea that chores must be done perfectly and in total isolation makes the daily grind so much easier for both of you. Let's dig into the psychology of why this works so incredibly well. Toddlers actually do not want to be entertained all the time. What they deeply, truly crave is participation. They are biologically wired to learn by constantly watching what we do and trying to join in. When we constantly redirect them, we're basically fighting nature. But when we invite them in, even in a totally messy, imperfect way, everyone wins. So here is the absolutely crucial point. Giving your toddler a real job actually buys you calm. Washing those toy cars gave the toddler a reason to stand at the sink, to focus, and to move his hands just like his dad. The task felt real to the child. And because the child felt fulfilled and involved, it bought the author enough time and enough quiet to actually finish the real dishes. And you can apply this to almost anything. You don't need a complex system, a fancy chore chart, or a reward system that takes up energy you frankly just don't have. Just look at the chore and ask, is there any part of this my kid can touch? If you're folding laundry, let them match the socks. If you're sweeping, hand them a little brush. If you're wiping the table, give them a damp cloth and just let them go at it. Start anywhere. Start small. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but it's going to be a mess. There'll be water everywhere. Well, yes, it is. It won't be perfect. There will definitely be splashing. There will be wet shirts. And that is exactly the point. Letting go of perfection is the absolute secret ingredient here. By giving up the dream of an immaculate, instantly clean kitchen, you replace it with something way better. Your child feels deeply included, and you feel entirely less isolated in your daily household labor. If you take absolutely nothing else away from this explainer, please remember this. You are not failing because the sink is full. You are not failing because you haven't figured out the perfect routine or system. You are doing an enormous, vital thing every single day. The best parenting hacks aren't really hacks at all, are they? They're just tiny, beautiful moments where you let go of perfect and simply let your kid in. So what are the real lessons we can take away from all this? First, let go of perfect. It's a trap that just makes chores harder. Second, invite your kids into the mess with you. Work with their natural instincts to participate. And third, through this messy, wet, highly imperfect process, you're teaching them a lesson that will last their entire lives, that a home is something a family takes care of. Together. I want to leave you with this question today. Are you ready to let go of perfect and put the toy cars in the sink? The next time you're feeling overwhelmed, running on empty, with a toddler clinging to your leg, remember this explainer. It might not solve everything on your to-do list, but giving up on perfection to find a real moment of connection, it might just save your afternoon. Try it out today.